We will call the meeting to order, please. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, the adoption of the agenda. A motion.
Romano adopts the agenda.
Motion by Romano, second by Zinner. All in favor, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item number 4, approval of the minutes of March 17th. Motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Who supported? Motion by Grott. Second by Wuno. All in favor?
Motion passes 13-0.
Item number 5, public participation. Is anyone from the public wish to speak on anything that's on the agenda? This is a great opportunity to express your opinions. Second, third,
Apologize again. Forget about this.
public participation is closed. Let's go to item number 6. And I'd like to combine with your approval, A, B, C, D, all the way through Q.
Motion to recommend to full board.
Chair, Q has been removed.
Q has been removed.
So
Motion to
can we go
recommend to
through A
full
to P?
Motion by Grott, supported by Lucido. Brian, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I don't have quite 2/3 of the alphabet, but I've got a lot of the alphabet, so. 6A is seeking approval of a contract with RMD Holdings, Nationwide Construction Group. That is for our 2025 Guardrail Safety Project. That's an annual program where we go throughout the county and look for deficient and damaged guardrail to replace. So seeking approval of that at an amount of $205,419. Item 6B is a contract seeking approval for Ajax Paving Industries for a 2025 pavement preservation program. That would be the HMA, the hot mix asphalt program. Total cost of $4,887,159.67. That is our program, so it's 100% Department of Roads cost. Item 6C is a contract with Cipparrone Contracting Incorporated. That is our 2025 pavement preservation program. That's our concrete program in an amount of $3,298,020.53. Once again, that is 100% Department of Roads funding as an annual program. Item 6D is another annual program. Contract with PK Contracting. That is for our 2025 longitudinal pavement marking project. Once again, annually, we go out through the community and look at pavement markings that need to be replaced and refreshed throughout the county. So that is 100% McDoor funded annual program. Item 6E is a seeking approval of a cost share agreement with the City of Sterling Heights. That is for our 18-mile road project from Mound to Utica Road. It's a rehabilitation. This is rescinding and replacing a previous cost share. The community, Sterling Heights, came to us and asked us to include some necessary and needed water main work to the project, so we had to amend the cost share, and that is a result of this new cost share coming in front of you. Total cost of this project is $3,936,000. That is a 50-50 local agency project with the community, so we would split half of that amount minus the non-participating items that would be 100% Sterling Heights, which would be the water main that was added. Item 6F is once again another cost share agreement with the City of Sterling Heights. It's for the Shana Road Bridge over the Red Run Drain. That total cost is $5,439,430. This is a federally funded project, bridge project, at a 80-20 split, 80% federal funds, 20% of the remaining costs split between us and Sterling Heights. Item 6G is a cost share agreement, and actually G through G through O are going to be all similar, different communities and different locations, but this is part of our new program that we established this year, and it's going to be an annual program for us, and it is our subdivision preservation program. So a lot of communities for decades have had deteriorating subdivision roads, and in an effort to bolster better roadways in the subdivisions, which obviously predominantly we've been spending more of our money on the primary and local collector roads, gets a lot more volume of traffic, so it services more of the residents and motorists of Macomb County. This program here allows us to get into subdivisions that are deteriorated to a point where the appropriate fix is a reconstruction replacement. But a lot of times either the community or the residents that get special assessed don't have the funding or don't want those projects because it takes over 50% for SAD to move forward. This allows the community to participate. It is a reduced program, so the share is 75% Department of Roads, 25% community. And it allows us to go in and put a one-course application, 2-inch thick, over usually a 2-lane roadway with shoulders in these subdivision areas. So a lot of the communities submitted for this, and we do have, like I said, those that are shown here as far as cost share agreements. G is with Chesterfield Township, H and I are with Chesterfield, 3 different locations, Telstar Street, Hooker Road, and Sugarbush Road. Item J is with Clinton Township, and that is for Fierce Street. Item K, once again, is with Clinton Township in Hilldale subdivision. L is with Clinton Township on Ingleside subdivision. M, N, and O are 3 roadways, subdivision roadways in Shelby Township, Road Drive, Vineyard Avenue, and Independence Avenue. Item 6P is a cost share agreement. This is at no cost to the county or the department. There was a change of ownership to a company that had previously paid for a traffic device to be installed. So the traffic device is in place. We just need another cost share agreement for the operations and maintenance of that with this new company to move forward with, and that's what that represents as far as item 6P. So I will answer any questions that there may be on those items.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Earlier this week, they closed the bridge on 18 Mile Road between Mound and Van Dyke. Is that bridge being closed and rebuilt going to impact the project you presented here today?
No, it should not.
They won't, okay, so they'll work from both sides of it or something?
So can you, maybe I'm misunderstanding your question.
You're doing 18 mile, am I understanding you're doing 18 mile from Mound to Utica?
That's correct.
Right in the middle of that, between Mound and Van Dyke, is a bridge that they're ripping out.
That's correct. It's done in conjunction with the roadway project. Yes.
Okay, so. that's-
So it's been planned and it's been part of the project. So we've kind of held off on both until we've gotten both situated. So
Okay.
it just makes sense to do this associated with the road project.
So they know about each other and are working together.
Yes, correct.
Good,
Yes.
good deal.
So, yeah, so there, yeah, it's not
Just wanted
independent.
to
Yeah.
make sure people are working smart.
Yes, correct.
The other question I have is 18 Mile, at Utica Road is a major parking area for Sterling Fest. Is this going to impact Sterling Fest?
We hope as minimal as possible. Obviously, we coordinate different events with the different communities during our active construction project. So we will have advanced discussion and communication, collaboration with the community regarding some of their special events, including Sterling Fest. So
They're not putting a shovel in the ground over there just tomorrow or
no,
anything?
no.
Good deal.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you,
welcome,
Chair.
Commissioner. Thank you.
Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brian, no questions. Just want to thank you and the department and our locals for getting creative on how to use some of these dollars to fix some of these roads. Because I can tell you, Chesterfield has a few of them on their Telstar I heard about since before I was even in this chair. So it took 8 years, but I'm glad to see it done getting done, whether it be a replacement or repair. I don't really care what it is with these projects. I'm just excited to see more of our roads getting fixed locally in these subdivisions, because that's where obviously a lot of people are driving and they're seeing it every day. And these fixes are welcomed. Thank you, Brian, and to your team. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Hall?
Thank you, Chair. Following on Commissioner Kraft, Brian, could you explain the subdivision preservation program?
Yes, so we initiated a new program, one additional tool in the toolbox, per se, that is a little more cost receptive to the communities. We do have our sub-reconstruct program that we have had for quite a few years now, and that's been pretty successful. But that's a heavier lift as far as cost to the communities. And all but one community uses the special assessment district to come up with the other half of the money that's needed for that type of fix. Per Act 51, if we do major heavy maintenance and replacement or reconstruction on local roads, which subdivisions are considered local roads, we have to seek at least 50% of the funds to match our monies. So with this type of fix, which is more of a simpler fix, it's an overlay, it's considered light maintenance, we're able to vary a little bit with the percentages. So we're requiring a 25% match, 75% put in by the Department of Roads. It's a fix that is not long-standing, and you're not going to get 15, 20 years out of it, but you're not going to have people traveling over third world country roads with potholes strewn throughout, and they have to weave around all the potholes on a day-to-day basis. So we have some roadways that we kind of did this on a trial basis, and it seemed to hold together pretty well over time. It's not an end-all be-all fix, but it definitely helps the problem in the short term until we can get some substantial funding, which hopefully is coming down the road here shortly, that we can bolster some of our other programs that are kind of more of a appropriate fix to the problem.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Chair.
Welcome. Commissioner Goike?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Brian. First, number F on the bridge going over the Red Run Drain. Is that going to be rebuilt with CMPs again, or is it going to be a total concrete structure this time?
I do not believe, we don't, with our bridge structures, typically do the CMP or CSP.
Well, the original one in there is like 4 of them, stacked. They're like 12 or 14 footers all right in a row, and it's.
I can get you exact information. I do not believe it's CSP. It would be some type of
I'm
concrete
glad you
structure.
and I are on the same page. Thank you.
Concrete is my preference, whether it be structure, bridge structure, or roadway. But
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a big box culvert fan now to save a lot of money. I tried to get the law changed so that we could, use more box culverts to save on the bridge cost. It needed a little more time in Lansing to get that done. And then in the last couple of years, there hasn't been too much done at the north end, so that B and C, are you got any roads, up in the north of 26 Mile Road that you're planning on doing anything this year?
I'd have to look at our listing as far as the mapping for that. We do that through our engineering program, which is under Scott Wanigat. He's very good at the technology to map those locations out. We try and spread that annual program monies out as much as possible with the various communities, whether they're southern, mid, or upper. Obviously, the upper has more back roads and gravel roads than paved roads, but we still try and distribute that accordingly. We do have a rural federal program that we, mostly the north end, that we apply that money to, and we get that annually. So we try as best as possible to, support the northern communities as far as their paved sections of roadway also.
All right, then have you heard anything from the County Road Commission's lobbyists about the bills they're working on right now for the local roads? If that's going to be set up good enough to really benefit us, if that goes through?
From what I'm hearing, if it passes as it did pass out of the House, it would be a very good sum of money that we would be getting, hopefully on a sustainable plan, which is needed. That money would definitely be able to be put into good use. Some of it more readily in our annual programs, we'd be able to get a more instantaneous return. Others would go into future projects of more of a appropriate fix, which would be the major heavy maintenance or replacements of existing roadways. So we're looking,
If that passed, that would be really beneficial, so you can put some long-term planning in effect, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
That is correct.
On what you're getting.
Yes.
All right, that'd be awesome.
yes.
So that, we should encourage our people to pass that. I think the governor's gonna like it, so thank you.
Yes.
I'm done.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Howard?
About the guardrail, I assume those are guardrails on county roads, right?
Yes, our jurisdictional roadways, yes.
If there's a guardrail, because I'm not 100% sure, it's over in the intersection just north of 11. If I send you the location, would you be able to tell me, like, if it's not you guys, who do I need to? Because it's almost 50% of the guardrail's gone.
Yes,
It's
so
up
that,
to
yes, if you could send me the exact location, I could tell you if it was ours or the communities or the states, depending on
Thank you.
location.
And just to double check, my understanding of the pavement preservation, that's applicable to townships and not the cities, correct? Because we have our own engineering department.
Yes, the only thing that we have jurisdictional control in cities and villages are primary roads that run through those. So all the local roads are theirs in the cities and villages as an Act 51 agency. So townships, we have the jurisdictional control of the local roadways in townships. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks, Chair.
Brian, have you had any calls from residents in Sterling Heights or those that travel 53 south of Hall Road on the tone of the noise?
I'm sure we have, in luckily or unluckily, that's not our project, that's the state's, but yes, we are aware of an issue with sound as traffic travels over that segment of roadway that they had redone recently.
Is that something in the asphalt?
I don't think it's in the asphalt personally. I think it's in the paving operation when it was placed. Sometimes the paving equipment is not set up exactly correctly, and you might get a repetitive motion of the machine and the finishing of the product. And
For those commissioners that haven't driven that, going north on Van Dyke, just south of Hall Road, is a humming sound.
North on 53.
You think there's something wrong with your front
53,
end?
not Van Dyke.
It's kind of
But that's
neat in a
MDOT.
way.
correct, yes. I hope we don't have any county jurisdictional roads that sound like that.
It kind of wakes you up a little. So. No other questions? Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. Take care.
Next item, item 7. This is a communications correspondence of 7A, B, and C. Need a motion?
Motion to receive and file.
Support by Lucido. Please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
And at this time, again, it gives me great pleasure to turn this over to Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Commissioner. Item 8 is Records in Public Safety Committee. Record and Public Safety Committee Department recommendation. A is an amendment engagement agreement for Zard and Associates, PC, representation of prosecuting attorney. It's not to exceed $35,000. I need a motion to recommend this to full board.
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Mr. Kraft, Commissioner Kraft, and supported by Commissioner Perna.
No. Doesn't matter.
One second, let me see what we got here.
Chair Sabatini, please.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioners, just wanted to speak on this briefly. This engagement agreement was passed by the board earlier this year. It was sent to the executive, and the executive wanted some tweaks to the agreement, and I was able to work out those tweaks with the prosecutor to get both parties in agreement to the engagement agreement, and that's why it is amended and on today's agenda. So just wanted to give everybody an update on that. And
Thank you,
the
Chair.
prosecutor is His team is here. If you have any questions, they can address them. Thank you, Chair.
Seeing no other speakers, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item B is a budget amendment, Circuit Court Fiscal Grant Fund, $200,225. Christina's here to explain it to us. I need a motion to recommend this to full board, please.
So moved.
I heard Commissioner Van Sickle and Commissioner Lucido. Ms. Wolfield.
Good afternoon. I'm Christina Wolfield. I'm the Court Services Director over at Circuit Court. I am here today to speak about the difference basically with what we submitted originally. And then after we got all of our grant awards back, the difference is $200,225. I am going to speak about the Circuit Court programs if you have questions on that. And then I also have David Joseph here from the Juvenile Court, and he can speak more about those grant programs. So I think what it boils down to every year is that it's a timing issue. And we usually get our, for the specialty court programs, we usually get the award letters like mid-September, sometimes late September. So we always try to, accurately guess how much we're going to need in the budget for Circuit Court each year. And then when we come back and get those award letters, there's always an increase or a decrease. As you can see here, there was increases with the drug court program, the mental health court program, the Swift Insure program, Romeo District Court had an increase, and one of the grants for the sobriety court program was an increase. We also had the Self-Help Center. That was a grant that we received. There was an increase with that. However, we did have some decreases with some of the programs, which is the Veterans Treatment Court, the Sobriety Treatment Court, the second grant that we received, and then the Juvenile Court grants as well.
Somebody else wish to speak?
Sorry, Commissioner, I didn't know, the portion of the budget that involved the juvenile court, as Ms. Wolfield indicated, was attributed to the timing of the grants. As you recall, the Raise the Age legislation that was passed in 2021 had a 3-year sunset. It expired in September of 2024, and the provisions that covered the expenses associated with the 17-year-olds were incorporated in the overall child care fund, and the reimbursement rate went from 50% for a small group to 75% of the entire juvenile court operations, as long as we were in compliance with the new child care fund guidelines, which we of course are. So the net for us was a tremendous gain in the services that we're able to provide through the child care fund, but it did require some adjustments because of the fiscal year and the timing of the original grant monies, which were a 3-year sunset, and the new ones that picked up October 1 of 2024.
Okay. I see no speakers. I have a motion and support. Please vote.
Sorry about that.
Commissioner Grote, the system didn't capture your vote. If you'd like to voice vote.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C is a budget amendment, emergency management and communications. That's a school safety grant, Warren Consolidated Schools for $48,000. We have our director, Mr. Lewis, here for emergency management and communications. I need a motion to recommend this to full board. I'm going to take 9C and 9D together, if I may.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Commissioner Hall and supported by Commissioner Zinner, and I have Mr. Lewis here.
Good afternoon. The agreement that I'm requesting approval of today is an interlocal agreement with Warren Consolidated Schools and the associated budget amendment. As you recall, we've been working with local school districts for a couple years now to conduct risk and vulnerability assessments in their buildings. We'd completed 16 districts to date, and Warren Consolidated, another round of funding was made available to districts from the state. Warren Consolidated Schools asked for us to come in and complete assessments in all of their buildings, and that's what this agreement will facilitate, is our department going out and completing those assessments.
Find any bugs in the assessments?
What's that?
Find any bugs in the assessments? Any problems?
Nothing noteworthy. Our schools do a fantastic job, and we're happy to go out and work with them and give them any suggestions they need to push them forward a little bit further.
Safe and secure.
Exactly.
I see no speakers. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item E, excuse me, it's an intergovernmental agreement with the State of Michigan Department of Technology, Management and Budget, Michigan's Public Safety Communications Systems. It's for $87,500. And again, we have Mr. Lewis here. I need a motion to recommend this to full board.
So moved. Support.
Moved by Commissioner Lucido, supported by. To make the motion? Motion was made by Commissioner Walls, supported by Commissioner Lucido. Mr. Lewis, please.
Okay. The agreement that I am seeking approval of today is a restated integration agreement with the Michigan Department of Information Technology and Budget for our participation in the Michigan Public Safety Communications System. Our public safety radio system, consisting of 14 towers and approximately 7,000 user units that operate on that, is a partnership between the county and the state. And the agreement that's in place governs our participation in the statewide system, the larger statewide system. The original agreement was signed in 2004. It's been amended several times. The state recently issued a separate amendment covering cybersecurity issues, and at that time, they decided after 25 years, the agreement's starting to get a little twisty and churny and things like that, and they're asking all of the participants in the system to sign the restated integration agreement. We had it reviewed by Corporation Counsel. The terms of the agreement don't change from what we've signed at all. The only substantive difference between what we have now and the agreement that I'm seeking approval of today are the cybersecurity provisions that I mentioned. Our department reviewed those, Corporation Counsel reviewed them. We have no issue with the provisions as presented. The cost associated with that agreement is an annual cost that has always been associated with that agreement. It's essentially the cost for our participation in the statewide radio system. So that cost has already been budgeted for and has been budgeted for years in the E911 radio communications fund.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
When does this agreement take effect?
It takes effect immediately upon execution. As a restatement, the agreement takes effect when we sign it. The terms are exactly the same, so we're going to be held to the same
If we
terms.
didn't approve this, when would the old agreement end?
Yeah, the old agreement has no terminate. It's until terminated by both parties.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
I see no other speakers. I have a motion in support. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you.
Mr. Lewis. Item 10 is Records and Public Safety Committee Correspondence. I need a motion to receive and file 10A and 10B.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hall, supported by Commissioner Van Sickle, for its receive and file. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Item 11 is public participation. This is the opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes on any issue that is germane to this meeting, or to the board, or to the county. Hearing and seeing none, I will go to commissioners' comments. Anybody want to speak on commissioners' comments, just let me know.
You're on there.
Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioners, you may have noticed there's, when you click on the file in the actual Civic Clerk, you get kind of a new notice now, hit file or annotate file. That's something that just came online apparently this week, so Luke is looking into that, and we will follow up to see if we can go back to the old version where you just click on the file and it opens up the file. So we are looking into that, so I just wanted to address that today. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Zinner.
Thank you, Chair. I was notice for the mental health dinner that Commissioner Kraft is in charge of. And that's, I believe, May 15th, 6 o'clock of Garfield. Is that at the Performing Arts? South Campus. So maybe a few of us or several of us could go to that dinner and Commissioner Wallace and be there for them. Just thought I'd mention that. Thank you very much, Chair.
You want to explain what we're talking about here, Mr. Kraft, if you don't mind?
I was gonna do it next week at full board, but I'll do it right now. Every year for the last couple of years, we've done an annual awards dinner where we award folks from our community and the mental health community in that space. They're doing incredible work. So we have a night to honor those winners.
Okay. Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you, Chair. Just a little addition to what Chair Sabatini said. When you do click on that, you'll get that little thing that he mentioned that says view and annotate. The view doesn't seem to do anything, but if you go to annotate, which to me says you want to mark it up, but if you just hit the annotate, it goes to where we used to go to directly.
Thank you. Any other speakers? I see three gentlemen out here. Anybody want to speak? Then what are you sitting here for? Why don't you leave? I need a motion for adjournment.
Support.
Rob, who made it? Commissioner Wallace, support. Support. Sorry.
He just offered.
Please vote.
Send me a picture of it.
He just offered.
Supported by Commissioner Howard.